Welcome to Global Village Show 2014. We have two guests today, both of them great people. Drew Barnes is the MLA in Medicine Hat, and Reg Radke is the chairperson of the Regional Development Committee in the Newell County and Brooks. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Drew, could you please give us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. I've lived in Medicine Hat since 1974. I was involved in business and real estate here for 26 years. I did retire 4 years ago from actively being involved in real estate sales. And at that point in time, I was looking after my business interests and looking in political interests. At that point in time, the Wild Rose gained some momentum, so I decided to seek the nomination for Cypress Medicine Hat for the Wild Rose, and very grateful to have been given the chance to represent people for the last 19 or 20 months.
Okay, so you're representing one side of Medicine Hat.
Yeah, the south side of Medicine Hat, principally Ross Glen and Southridge, Tower Estates, and then all of Cypress County, all of 40 Mile County, Red Cliff foremost, and Bow Island as well.
Okay, thank you. Reg?
Yeah, well, I've not too far from southern Alberta, but born in Hanna and been involved in education and agriculture through my careers, and moved to Brooks rather about 10 years ago. I worked there for Medicine Hat College, and yeah, now I'm chair of the Economic Development Committee there.
Okay, that's thank you very much. Yeah, Drew, what do you think was the best event that you can remember of 2013?
Oh, 2013 was a great year. One of probably the most significant event was the flood. It was absolutely phenomenal how Albertans rallied around, helping each other, helping prevent further damage while the flood was happening, and help people get back on their feet after. I've been at many events after where many guest speakers have said things like, because of the rural roots, because of our immigration history here in Alberta, it allowed Albertans to rally and help each other and have the strength to do this. So that was a nice reminder of what had happened, and we've gone some distance to put that behind us and continue to do so.
Thank you very much. Reg?
Well, probably two or three things. One, certainly Brooks was not directly touched by the flood, but certainly we were concerned about the river flow with the Bazzano Dam and the irrigation system, and a number of people from Brooks community also helped in cleaning out homes and so on in High River and other communities. But probably a couple other highlights. One, certainly our Junior A hockey team, Canadian champions last spring, and that was great for the community and great for the hockey team. And also our major employer in the area, our meat plant, JBS Foods Canada took over and is kind of consolidating, and we're extremely happy to see that they're in our community and things are going well with that plant.
Okay, thank you very much, Reg. Drew, you mentioned the immigration actually, which is a very important factor, and you've been in business for a very long time. How best you think you can attract maybe manpower into the economic development in southeastern Alberta, whether it's Medicine Hat or other places?
Well, one of the principles of the Wild Rose Party, as a small C conservative party, is we believe in local grassroots decision making as much as possible. In the election 2012, one of our policies was that we wanted to explore the option of Alberta handling its immigration, looking after its immigration more directly, the same way that Quebec does. We feel, and I feel, that this kind of local decision making, being able to match what we need for workers with what's available through the immigrants and the people we have now, could go a long way to some better decision making. I know that as the demographics of Alberta changes, as our economy continues to grow here, easily the strongest economy in Canada, we are going to be challenged quite a bit for skilled labor, for important labor. We have lots of opportunity for many people here, and I can't, I think that a little bit of more local, close to the grassroots decision making would be good for all of us, and hopefully that it's something that as a Wild Rose we can explore further someday.
So you're saying Alberta to have their own way of dealing with immigration stats and all that stuff, not the federal government.
Yeah, I think it would be quicker. I think it would be more direct for what we needed. I understand it's worked in Quebec for 30 years, and it's the kind of thing I think that could be explored and could be looked at. I do understand that the federal government has gone some distance with market assessments and those kind of things to make it easier. Still in my office, though, I do have a considerable number of people that call or stop me and express concerns with the delays and what's happening. And even though it is a federal jurisdiction, perhaps we can do it better.
Well, that's a good idea, as long as other provinces will not lead to that also exploration of being taking care of their own immigration. Then you have Ontario, Quebec, then you have other provinces who will probably be going through the same thing with Alberta is asking for to be their own immigration status.
Yeah, we'd have to research it. We'd have to research it carefully. We'd have to make sure that what any changes would be proper changes. Possibly we could work just better with the current system, work with the federal system by having more local input. Local input is always important, and I think we'd want to explore the best way to do that.
So the most important for you and Wild Rose is the concern of the Albertans.
Concern of Albertans, and in the case of Cypress Medicine Hat, what we need, farm workers are crucial large parts of times. Greenhouse workers are crucial. Welding, oil and gas workers. Lakeside, of course, JBS now is an important part for our community as well. And we have to make sure that employment needs are met.
Okay. Yes, Reg. As a chairman of the Regional Development Committee, how best you think we can attract both investors and manpower? Because having employer there without the manpower, business won't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two questions there, I guess. One, in attracting investors. That's always a challenge for any community, but we just have to present our community story. Where we're located in terms of transportation. The tremendous community facilities we have, recreation, lifestyle, and that there's some opportunities there for business to locate and investors to come in. So we have to be ready with that information. In terms of finding employees and workforce, that's a challenge like any other community. Certainly, a number of businesses in the community rely on temporary foreign workers. We obviously have a number of landed immigrants and so on in our community, and that's a big thing for our community, a big advantage. And professional-wise, doctors and so on, some of our food inspection scientists, the research scientists. So it's an important thing, and we just I think probably for those people, certainly we have to have jobs for them, but also make it a good community that they want to live in and stay in.
Yeah, foreign recruit, I believe it's as of January still, it's going to be very difficult for employers to bring them unless there is a reason for. I think the federal government is adding more to the demand of qualification of employer to bring. But it's true that without the manpower, it will be difficult for the economic development.
Well, that's true, and I know. Challenge of larger companies like JBS, that's a continual challenge for them, but it's a challenge for some of our small manufacturing companies to find the appropriate journeyman welder or machinist or whatever. It's a challenge to bring doctors into our community, but businesses are quite resourceful, and it's they're working hard to try to locate people, workers, and I'm not sure, there's no easy answer to that.
Coming back to creation of jobs in Alberta, which is very important for the pipeline. And now it's taking time. I believe the one going through the U.S. Now we have another opportunity for the other side. So what do you think, in your own view, the pipeline of this East Coast, I believe, or West Coast, would achieve?
Well, access to markets is crucially important, whether it's east, west, south, or even north. Some of the talk that was coming out a month or two ago was reassuring, and they were focusing on turning Line 9 the other way back to Ontario. So at least we could start to flow more product that way and have some product hit refineries in I believe the Sarnia area. So that's access. The gateway access to the West Coast, whether it was for liquefied natural gas or oil or refined products, the access to the Asian market is going to be crucial to sell our commodities and to increase our standard of living here. I'm a little concerned with how the Redford government has put in the national energy strategy, and at times has seemed to have given the policy setting for this to others, like the Premier of BC. Of course, the 5 conditions that BC put in before this would happen, the big one that is still unsatisfied is them negotiating with our companies for a share of the royalties or some share in how this is going to be. In my mind, this could open a very dangerous precedent. I understand 50% of BC's natural gas is pipelined across Alberta now, and we don't treat that the same way. So I think that the strategy has been misguided, and possibly some help from the federal government, whether it's on the Gateway or more direction on the Keystone pipeline to the southern United States. We're looking at a tremendous opportunity here with liquefied natural gas and getting it to these strong, fast-growing Asian markets. But it's a bit of a race too, because other jurisdictions are looking at the same thing, whether it's America or Australia trying to get their liquefied natural gas there. So in business, timing is crucial, so we have to make sure we work through that. Likewise with the Keystone to the south. America is becoming closer and closer to self-sufficiency in oil and gas, more so every day. The self-sufficiency, though, is based on oil from Fort McMurray and our oil sands, so that's important to develop the opportunity to get there. And although railway is termed out to be a good option in a lot of ways for getting our bitumen and our product there, maybe there's been some incidents in the last little while that suggest that we have to be very careful in how we do things.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, Drew. And Reg, as also a manager of medicine at college, what do you guys have for the new students, for example, in 2014 calendar? And I believe one of the potential students might be also the son of Drew Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand he's going to be attending the campus here in Medicine Hat, but in Brooks, we were working on some new programs. We just have a first-year welding program started last night at the campus in Brooks. We continue to have our 2-year nursing program there at the campus. We just saw about 75 English language students enrolled in their first class yesterday. We've got waiting lists for those. We've got some other skill training programs that are be starting, and we've got some others starting in September. So we're trying to respond to some of the local demand for some of those entry-level career positions.
Okay. Drew, as somebody, for example, most of the new Canadians have little knowledge about how the system of governance is, for example, from the MB, federal, MLA, and municipality, and all that stuff. Could you just give us a little brief of what the MLA is all about?
Okay, you bet. Principally provincial jurisdiction is healthcare, education, and economic issues within the province, and supporting those that need support, temporary or otherwise. Healthcare is 44% of the provincial budget, and it has, obviously we have a lot of good things in our system, but like any ongoing system, there's always some refinements and stuff, and that's a large part of what needs to be done. My main concern is that healthcare is now eating up 44% of our provincial budget, some $17.5 billion, double from what it was 7 or 8 years ago, and the sustainability of this has to be reviewed. Education, our other big component, we are fortunate in Alberta. We have a very, very strong education system, whether it's, you know, kindergarten to grade 12 or our post-secondary. But again, part of my job in the opposition, though, is to ensure that this continues. The Redford government a short time ago cut tens of millions of dollars out of post-secondary education, which parts of that at the time to me made no sense, because as we've talking in this program now, so many of we're short of so many skilled trades in our job market. So many of our community colleges like Medicine Hat and like Brooks are providing this service. So it seemed odd to have this across the board cut at a time that we could have pinpointed some things and continued to work on areas that we needed. And provincially, you know, we of course also, you know, a strong economy is important to how the government sets the policies. And it's one of the concerns that I have, again, with how the provincial government is doing things. The PCs have ran 6 consecutive deficits. Considering capital spending, we're looking at approximately $17 billion in the hole by next election, 2 years from now. This is not what leads to a strong economy and strong job creation. Business craves certainty and looks for balanced budgets, looks to see that future taxes are not going to be increased. So part of my job in opposition is to hold the government accountable for this as well.
Right. What is the advantage of diverse population such as the one we have, Brooks, County of New in 21st century?
Well, I think it adds to a great community in terms of culture, in terms of family interests. It also provides some opportunities for other people in the community to sample, to learn, to sample foods, to learn new cultures. But the work ethics of the new immigrants and the other cultures is very strong, and you know, it's an excellent workforce for the community. And many of our new Canadians and immigrants just really want to succeed. They want to put down roots, they want to buy homes, they want to maybe start businesses, they want good jobs, they want education for their family. So all those things translate into a strong community.
What do you think the legacy of will be the legacy of Nelson Mandela, in your own opinion?
Oh, that's a big question. Good role model, certainly brought attention to you know, racial issues, equality, but probably the biggest thing is role model in terms of perseverance and in terms of inclusion and trying to bring people together and move forward. Yeah.
Same thing with you, Drew. What do you think the legacy of Nelson Mandela will be in many years to come?
Oh, a tremendous world leader, a tremendous, well thought of person. Reg said maybe the 2 key words: perseverance and inclusion. All that he had to go through to succeed. You know, it's such a refreshing message to all of us that when the goal is worth it, that what you have to do, and the overall goal to, you know, the inclusion of millions and millions of people in a fair and just way, you know, very, very well done.
That's great. Right. Why would someone like to move to Brooks or County of New York? Why would somebody decide to move into that area, I think?
Well, I'm biased, but I think because of our diverse cultures in the community, I think because of our recreation opportunities, with the water as a natural advantage with our lakes, and economic advantage of the water rights and the recreation we have. Our location on the Trans-Canada Highway, we've got good schools, good health care. I should add the intersection of Veterans Highway, Highway 36, so it's a good transportation network on the CP main line. So I think those are some of the natural advantages to come to Brooks. It's a thriving community and a good quality of life, good place to live.
No, that's good. As an MLA in this area, as well as used to be a businessman, real estate, what do you think someone would why would someone move to Medicine Hat? What they're going to gain out of it?
Well, there's lots of opportunities here. The city is wonderful for the number of positive things that are going on right now, from some construction issues with our new arena and a little bit of growth in the city. Our quality of life is very high here as well as Brooks, from our walking parks to the friendly atmosphere. A third reason I think people like to live in Cypress Medicine Hat is the independence. We have a lot of ranching and farmland. We have a lot of big spreads, and a lot of these people are very independent in their thinking and how they do things. And some people really appreciate the opportunity to get out and do that, whether it's recreation or just the opportunity to be in a freer atmosphere.
So how many MLAs you should elect from this area then?
Well, there's one in Medicine Hat who represents about 75% of Medicine Hat. That's Blake Peterson from the Wild Rose as well. And then I represent the 25% of Medicine Hat, roughly the south part of Medicine Hat, as well as Redcliffe, Cypress County, 40 Mile County, Foremost, Redcliffe, and Bow Island. And then, of course, we have Jason Hill, our Wild Rose MLA from Brooks Strathmore. Gary Bickman is a Wild Rose MLA from Tabor, Cardston, Warner. And we have pretty good representation in the south.
So you represent all the way to Boa Valley?
No, all the way to just past Burdett on Highway 3, and then just up to the county line just past Suffield, and then down to the Saskatchewan, Alberta, Montana border right at Wild Horse.
Wow,
and
it's a big area.
It's a very big area, and I do spend lots of time traveling around and lots of time talking to the ranchers and the farmers and the members of the community, and it's a fairly diverse group of people as well too. Lots of established 100-year ranches and farms, lots of young new Mennonite people adding lots to the community, some Hutterite colonies doing very well, and then of course the smaller communities like Hilda, Irvin, Schuler.
Basically, a group of cowboys.
There are some cowboys for sure.
The importance of education, what do you think to our viewers, for example, whether it's education, higher education, or trades, Reg?
Well, if you can take advantage or acquire any skill or training or education, certainly it opens the door to different jobs, careers. It can be a starting point and you can carry on, but education is easy to carry in your back pocket. You acquire skill, you learn knowledge, you can carry those things with you and you can build those things, and that's one of the best tools that you can have in your life to move forward and improve your life, is through education. And just interesting, this morning I was listening to a new Canadian at our counter at the campus, talking about how hard it was for him to move to Brooks and to work with his family, but he was extremely proud of his children. They've gone on to different careers, some professions, some trades, and he had his grandson there, and he himself was coming back to pick up a course, and he embodied that thought or that feeling very well, that education was the key for him.
That is true indeed. Most of the new Canadians would love to take that advantage.
Hard work and lots of sacrifice, but he saw the value
for the generation to come. Yeah, that's the most important. As you very well know, that South Sudan, which is the newest nation to the and having a difficulty now of civil war again, and we hope that they will come up some sort of agreement for the benefit of the generation to come, and give a chance to peace after they have been suffering a long time. So, but that is a problem that is everywhere in most of the nations in Africa and third world countries. Coming back to mine, is what will be your resolutions for 2014 personally and the Wild Rose?
Well, personally, my family is very important to me, so I hope to spend some good quality time with all three of my sons and my wife. Secondly, I am the infrastructure critic for the Wild Rose, but our leader Danielle Smith has asked me to in a secondary way, also be finance critic. So I'm hoping to spend quite a bit of time reviewing how the government of Alberta spends money, whether it's through reviewing the Auditor General's report and budgets, and doing my best to make sure that they're spending money as efficiently and effectively as they can for us. In a personal way, I play rec hockey and I also play rec soccer. I'm hoping to become a better soccer player. I'm looking forward to a very, very good year. We're very, very fortunate in Alberta. We have a strong economy. We're very, very fortunate in southern Alberta, whether it's Brooks or Cypress Medicine Hat, that we have a lot of good people. We have a lot of well-educated people. We have a lot of opportunities, and hopefully we'll take the best of them.
So you're going to have two portfolios then?
Yes. Yeah, I'm secondary on the finance part, but it is the opportunity for me to get involved. I'm on a couple of committees now that I wasn't on before. Economic Futures for Alberta is one, and again, reviewing the Auditor General, the A&P committee, and so I look forward to spending some time on that. And in my 19 or 20 months as an MLA, there's been a lot of new things and a lot of good people, a lot of good information that's come my way, and 2014 looks like the opportunity to spend a whole bunch more time learning a whole bunch of other things that appear to be very interesting.
Thank you very much. It's actually, thank you very much for connecting me to Wild Rose leader Danielle, and she accepted to be on Global Village.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
We're just looking for the time frame now.
Mm-hmm.
Reg, what do you think about 2014's resolution that you might have in mind?
Well, I'm not sure the biggest challenges as Drew has with some of his new jobs, but yeah, I just enjoy family and now grandchildren and so on. That's a big thing for me. But I hope that I and our committee, the Newell Regional Economic Development Committee, can make a difference in the community. We have a great community, and we want to see if we can facilitate making sure it's easier to do business in our region, make sure that we have all the information available, so if anyone's considering a place in southern Alberta, that Brooks might be an opportunity, and we can present that information for them, and continue to work with our businesses to help retain their employees and expand their businesses. So that's a few goals from the Economic Development Committee. So we're looking forward to a good year.
Well, same, and I think if you are thinking ever coming to play a soccer game, I think you might be thinking of coming to Brooks. We have great teams in Brooks, and you might come one day and play with the teams. And you have a lot of immigrants. That is the soccer is great in most of the third world countries. The immigrants. So we have a great teams in Brooks, County of Newell, and you come and watch and maybe play someday, and maybe you might be a good player. You never know.
Well, I do know, and I'm not, but it is a wonderful game, and I do play in a recreation league here, and it is nice to see a lot of people here are starting to play more and more soccer, as well as our more traditional games, and it'll be interesting to see the growth of it in the future.
This is the end of Global Village. This is Ahmed Kassem, your host of Global Village show. We hope you will join us next time. Until then, God bless everyone, and God bless Canada.